السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم في قناة سوسن سامي فور انجلش. النهاردة هنعمل مراجعة لليلة الامتحان للغة الانجليزية للصف الثالث الثانوي من الوحدات الأولى لغاية الثالثة حتى الثالثة. عندي هنا بعض التشوز هنحله مع بعض. يلا بينا نقول بسم الله. أول يونت writers and stories. I write a or an of 1000 words a day. طبعا الإجابة هتبقى average، يعني في معدل 1000 كلمة في اليوم. Don't do more than one job at a time or you will get confused. معناها ما تعملش شغلانة أكتر من شغلانة في يعني مرة واحدة، وإلا سوف تكون مرتبك. عمر insisted on going out alone. I couldn't change his mind. عمر مصمم ان هو يروح يمشي لوحده. انا مش قادر اغير في رأيه. They have just received this photo as an email attachment. لسه هم مستلمين هذه الصورة على انها يعني مرفق لإيميل. My daily routine begins when my alarm clock goes off at 6:30. يعني الروتين اليومي بتاعي بيبتدي الساعة 6:30 صباحا. سما is very insistent. She never stops asking for what she wants. سما دايما بتبقى مصرة أو يعني مصممة، يعني هي شخصيتها كده، يعني هي ما بتتوقفش عن السؤال عما تريد. My son is one of average height. He is neither very tall nor very short. People don't know what to do because there is too much confusion. The novel was translated into many languages. احنا مش هنترجم بقى يا جماعة لأن صراحة الأسئلة سهلة جدا، بس هنحلها مع بعض. I am a graduate in the faculty of medicine. He graduated from medicine and soon became a famous doctor. That author's books are very successful, so I think that he will easily find a publisher for his next book. He is one of the diplomats who works in the Egyptian embassy in London. I really enjoyed this book. It was written in a very simple style. كمل مع بعض. His first job was as a lawyer. I sent an email with 2 attachments. They were photos of my friends. I don't really have a routine during the holidays. The road accident made her completely disabled. Please attach the file to your email and send it quickly. I had changed my last novel 6 times before I was happy with it. In 2010, my parents lived in a small flat in the city center. What did you do after leaving school yesterday? I telephoned the police after I had seen the accident. We had lived near a supermarket before we moved to this house. I'd had my own computer for 3 years before anything went wrong with it. When I was 7, I wrote a poem which won a prize. What were you doing at 8 o'clock yesterday evening? Yesterday evening, we were revising for our English test when all the lights went out. By the time Nada arrived, we had had lunch, so there was nothing for her to eat. While she was doing her homework, my sister was listening to music. What had you done before you had breakfast this morning? She gave it to me while I was reading the newspaper. My mother made me a cake. It tasted of lemon. As soon as I'd finished a story, I started the next one. I had just finished doing the exercise when my father returned home. What games did you use to play with your friends? I hadn't read any of his books because before I read this one, I once used to read the newspaper every day. Now I don't have the time. As my mother was exhausted, she fell asleep while watching TV. Okay? طيب. Unit 2. My father, an Egyptian teacher. عادل عبد التواب Yusuf, my father, an Egyptian teacher. Ali's grandfather was a doctor and later worked for the Ministry of Health. We plan to go to Greek for the holidays next year. Mr. Ayman is a strict manager. He never lets his employees waste time or leave early. Giving children a lot of money spoils them. We all trust Mr. Muhammad as he is responsible and serious. He is a serious person. He is never careless or lazy. When I was a university student, I never missed a lecture. We want to start a children's association in our neighborhood. Okay, مع بعض. No one can deny the importance of reading. We must cooperate to face our difficult problems. All teachers demand that they get higher salaries. My head aches. My head aches badly. I have a terrible headache. A semicircle is a group arranged in a curved line in the shape of a week-old moon. Political science is the study of the ideas and activities that are concerned with how a country is governed. A layer is one of several levels of different materials that are on top of each other. Cultural means relating to art, music, literature, etc. Importance is the quality of being important. Education must be a lifelong activity. It doesn't end when we leave school. A full moon looks like a circle. Babies like those people who are gentle to them. It's more than 40 years since I traveled abroad. As far as Hani is concerned, the team hasn't a chance of winning. Fatma has had her own room since they moved to this new house in Sheikh Zayed. In the last 10 years, Egypt has turned large areas of desert into farmland. I have had my own computer for 3 years now. I have written short stories for 5 years. It's my full-time job. The plane has just left. I can see it in the sky. He decided that he wanted to become a writer. Nawad's younger sister has studied the past tense, but she hasn't studied the present perfect yet. We haven't traveled by train for years. Since the day he was born, my grandfather has lived in this house. My father has planted 5 trees in the garden up till now. He is going to plant 2 more tomorrow. This is the first time Rudain has traveled on her own. Omar has worked for 5 different companies since he graduated 3 years ago. Bilal is not here. He has gone to the dentist. I've tried Chinese food, but I haven't tried French food yet. He is a reckless driver. He has had 3 accidents in the last 2 months. My father has had this car for 20 years and it's as good as ever. My mom has cooked dinner. Let's go and eat. Mr. Nasser has lived in Aswan since he worked there. Okay. Unit 3, the future of books. The air is cleaner now because there has been an increase in the use of cars. There has always been a lot of trade between Egypt and Europe, as well as making paper from trees. We can also recycle old paper. My exam results were comparable to my brother's. They were almost the same. The best thing about an e-book is that you can carry a whole library and read from it at any time. I'm going to download some information from the internet for my school project. My mother has a special new gadget for cutting vegetables. Ali is really enthusiastic about his university course. He can't wait for the beginning of the term. After people bleed the wood, they remove water from the mixture. To paint a large area of the wall quickly, try using a paint roller. To recycle is to put used objects or material through a process so that it can be used again. Yasmin was so fluent that the words just rolled off her tongue. We usually soak beans overnight to soften before we cook them. My television has a large HD screen, so the picture is clear. Karim is a reading enthusiast. He reads all the time. Some people bleach their teeth so they look very white and shiny. If you like to shop online, this website has many new and used books available. Mom told us an exciting tale which was a mixture of comedy and tragedy. I don't think that e-books will replace traditional books completely. As a principal, Mr. Nasr is full of enthusiasm. He encourages both teachers and students to work hard. Okay, when you have known the truth, you will change your mind. Scientists predict that mobile phone will be made smaller in the future. She's phone us as soon as she arrives at Madrid airport. Turn off the lights when you leave that room. In this way, you help save energy. More schools will have been opened by the end of next year. I can see you later this evening. I'm doing my homework. My plane leaves at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. There are no clouds in the sky today. I think it's going to be sunny and hot. I'm sure the publishers will reduce the price when more people buy them. The basketball team are playing 2 games next week. Experts think that Cairo will grow by more than 500,000 people next year. There is a good film on TV tonight. It finishes at 12 o'clock. Perhaps we can get together when I'm back. Are you doing anything next Saturday? The train to Cairo is on platform 4 and it leaves in 30 minutes. We are having a family party on Saturday. Would you like to come? The program starts at 7 o'clock this evening. By the end of next year, the government will have built a new school in the village. Next year, my grandfather will be 75 years old. There is a good film on TV tonight. I think that it will finish at 10 o'clock. I can't visit you because I will be doing my homework this evening. عندي بقى المراجعة اللي هي في آخر ال3 وحدات. The writer wrote his first story when he had been at university. London has water of 557 millimeters of rain each year. My little brother is sad because he has broken his favorite toy. I sometimes get confused between the meanings of weather and weather. Dina hadn't finished the test when the teacher told them to stop. Kamal did not want to tidy his room before he went out, but his mother insisted. The car was moving fast when it hit the tree. Huda's father works for an important ministry. I've tried Chinese food, but I haven't tried French food yet. Walid always makes a revision plan 2 months before the exam. Your bags look heavy. I will help you to carry them. Are there any tickets available for the tennis match this evening? The teacher says that we are studying relative clauses next week. To turn the computer on, you must press this button. My grandfather will be 70 on his next birthday. Adel loves windsurfing. He is very enthusiastic about the sport. The police know that what the thief at 8 o'clock last night. was doing. The police know what the thief was doing at 8 o'clock last night. I sent my friend an email with a photo as an attachment. The tourists didn't stop walking until they had reached the top of the mountain. Hamid is disabled and cannot walk. Ali isn't here. He has gone to the park. The head teacher believes that the discipline is very important in the classroom. At 10 o'clock tomorrow, I will be traveling on a train to Aswan. My father does the same things every day. He likes to have a routine. We will have finished studying this book by the end of this year. There was a lecture at the university about new technology. I wouldn't leave the office until I had checked that all the doors were locked. The head teacher silenced the student before the visitor gave her talk. It's 35 degrees and it's only 7 a.m. It's going to be very hot today. The computer in the library doesn't work, so they are going to replace it. كانت معكم سوسن سامي من قناة سوسن سامي فور انجلش. ما تنساش لايك واشتراك للقناة عشان يوصلك كل جديد. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.